want to thank everyone that was on the committee and invited me here to pay tribute to Brother Don. Oh, there goes my notes. I don't know if I need them anyway.
Just do that one first.
The wind is like the weather report. There's going to be hot air and gusty winds on the East Coast, especially Washington, D.C. That was not a part of it. I want to thank everyone. Don was a great guy, and I know him a bit longer than anybody here, I guess. And I want to say, he was a trailblazer. He surprised his brothers at times, and it was usually pleasant and fun, but it was different. He had, as many of you know, his own way of doing things. He took his lariat. We used to have big dogs, cow dogs, to herd cattle. You've heard of the sheep dog contest in Heber. We had big black ones. He threw his lariat around the big dog, put on his skis, and away he went. And I can't remember to this day how he'd guide him. I think the dog knew about where to go, and he'd yell at him if he went one way or the other. He was a smart dog, to say the least. That's what this one here is about. That little blue heeler was nobody's fool. He was magna cum laude in obedience school. And Grandpa's old hound dog was pretty smart too. There was only a few things that he couldn't do. But the smartest of all was the old cow dog Joe. At flushing that camp meat, that dog was a pro. One night we awoke to the smell of fresh smoke and a snapping and crackling sound. We got all the family out into the yard and stood watching the cabin burn down. Joe charged back inside through the smoke and the flame, and it looked like he'd lost his head, because it didn't make sense for a smart dog like Joe to go back where he might end up dead. As we stood there amazed and dejected, with our backs to the wind from the south, through the smoke and the flame, old Joe, here he came, with a package held tight in his mouth. He gave us that smoldering package, while the other dogs set up a howl. It was the fire insurance policy, and he had it wrapped in a wet towel. Yeah, they're smart ones. Well, Don didn't need instructions to do everything. He was willing to take new trails. And again, his brothers knew that. He was interesting and fun to be around. And I remember him, he had a pistol on his side once in a while, and not always. And I remember him chasing game with that pistol. And you don't do things like that now. They're worried about the spotted owl, and I agree. We don't want animals to become extinct. But that was 80 plus years ago or thereabouts. And I do remember him doing things like that. And there was spotted owls and bald eagles, the tortoise that we have to worry about becoming extinct. Having said that, now the old judge wasn't happy when they hauled the cowboy in. The charge was seagull poaching. It was time for discipline. It was time to teach that feller that we all should coexist, or else seagulls might end up on the endangered species list. And so the judge demanded Jake explain the reason why the environment got trampled and that seagull had to die. Jake said, "I was lost out on the prairie, sees this bird up in a tree, and I hadn't eat for days, and it was either him or me." Well, the old judge felt compassion. The cowboy seemed sincere. Said he'd save the seagull. Join the Save the Seagull Club and be a volunteer. And so the judge dismissed the case to prove it seemed a waste. And then he said, "Jake, by the way, just how does seagull taste? Jake answers, oh, it's similar to any other fowl. It's a little like bald eagle, but it's more like spotted owl. Thank you. Well, there's dogs are smart. There's some smart cats too, but they hate water. Cats don't like water. Now the doctor said, what happened, son? Because that scar on your face.